everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Tyranny. In the last session we were here at the Burning Library where we removed the silent archive from within, which released the spell that was protecting the last remnants of the place, and it came crumbling down around us. Yes, I managed to find in our inventory where the silent archive was because I couldn't find it at the end of the last session. And it provides Calvina with +1 to wits, +1 to resolve, and a little bit of extra trap detection. It's not bad. It's not bad. The +1 to wits is very, very welcome indeed, taking her wits up to a nice, healthy, round 20. Great, of course, for a spell slinger. And she's also equipped the Staff of Hours. She can't not equip it. It's an artifact, a magical artifact of some renown. So yes, Simplicity does give her +5 to all magic skills, but at the end of the day, that's not going to be the be-all and end-all. You get some nice extra little bits with this one, so just for the power of this thing, she's going to equip this, much to Lantry's dismay, I imagine, given that he was one of the sages of the Burning Library in the first place. Okay, so that's that situation sorted. We're going to go now and speak with Graven Ash to report back of our deeds, but before we do, all the members of our party wish to converse with us, so let's see what they want to say, and we shall start with Lantry.
That's twice now. By Kyros's icy nethers, twice! Edicts have been broken before, but never in all my many years have I heard of one person doing it twice.
Nonchalantly proclaiming here, Calvina, that I'm sure anyone can do it. You just need to think about the wording of the edict and you'll find Kairos has left options. One must use one's wits and figure out what those options are.
That's like saying winning a war is as simple as raising a giant army and making all the right maneuvers. Knowing what must be done and actually doing it, well, that's the dividing line between being a legend and being forgotten.
Perhaps Lantry speaks the truth. Calvina downplaying her achievements. Come now, Calvina, don't be modest. Right, verse. You've carved out a real knack for yourself by breaking the Overlord's edicts left and right. Whatever Tunon is paying you for your services, I'd say you're due for a raise. How does it feel? Not only have you given voice to the Overlord's will, but you're breaking Kairos' magic left and right. Yes. Calvina simply saying that she is serving the interests of the mission. Indeed she is. With her own little twist on things perhaps when the time is right. Sticking to your priorities is a good way to stay alive, but I wonder if you should be more reckless. I never got anywhere by playing it safe. I'm here if you need me, but I don't have a mind for arcane wisdom. I'll do whatever I can to get our little gang through this war. And if it ever looks like your strength is flagging, I'll put you out of your misery and take control. Cheer up.
What do you need?
And Barik?
It is rare enough that anyone has the opportunity to proclaim an edict, much less break one. How are you holding up, Fatebinder?
I'm not a big fan of the first two options, so that really leaves us only with the third, and it's a bit abrupt, really. I'll speak with Verse about it, and I'll speak with Lantry, but not you. Seems a bit harsh. Okay, so, yeah, proclaiming that she's got a slight headache. Nothing major, but hey, if that's all we get from what we've achieved, we can live with it.
That is to be expected. I am no expert in arcane matters, but I understand that the will and commitment needed to shatter Kairos' magic are not resources in abundance. Take care that you don't exhaust yourself and become worthless to the war effort. What can I do for you?
Nothing much else. Right, okay, so they... it's nice to see that the party has showed a bit of concern for Calvina. It makes her feel happy. Okay, so... we do have some stuff available in the old spires. Do you know what? Before we go speak with Grivanash, we will do a little spire visiting. Let's see what we can find here. We'll keep him stewing for a bit longer, you know? Let him stew away. Right. So this is the mountain spire. I think. Now this is the ocean spire. In fact, there's nothing available here at the ocean spire. Okay, I tell a lie. There's some ingots available, which is better than nothing. And we can see what he can forge for us. Crashing Thunder sounds pretty nifty, doesn't it? It's a two-handed weapon. There were a couple of things here, but they did require hide, and we have hide now, so I'll check this out a little bit later, but things like 8 hide here for these cloth slippers. Extra magic defense and finesse could be quite nice for Calvina, for instance. Still don't have enough, though. This could be pretty good for verse, but we are lacking a battered helm. So there's just a few little things missing still from our inventory, but what we can check out while we're here is Barrick's armour. Can we upgrade that? And if we can, how much will it cost us to upgrade it? 4 of them. 35 rings. We've got 12 iron ingots, so that means we can upgrade 3 pieces of the armour, which means that we'll hang fire until we can do it all in one swoop. Wow. Could actually upgrade this. 13 gold bronze ingots. And all it will provide is an upgrade to the DPS, which isn't probably worth that when she doesn't use the staff that often. She uses mainly spells. But like Cowl of Disbelief is already masterwork, so can we upgrade that? No, it's already masterwork. What about this one? Oh, I just clicked on that, you silly fool. And these are just little bog standard things. Probably not going to spend anything else on anybody else right now. Okay, so nothing doing there. Never mind. Let's proceed on to the next spire. Mountain Spire. Did that have anything new? I can't remember. I think it might have done. It's going to take us 15 minutes to get there. Let's take a look, shall we? As we teleport to the second tower of our collection. So that's a mountain spire, which was the original spire. He has an iron axe and a bronze javelin available, but that's about it. Nothing really too exciting to report. But in the other place, the library place, let's go see what's here. So we've got Hearth's Blood. A dagger. Could be really good for verse. And some scrolls. There we go, look at that. Hearth's Blood added to the collection. What's next? Silent Archive research items. Conduct research to find recipes for new items from the Silent Archive. That sounds like it could be pretty nifty. Artifacts, a sigil scroll. We have our magic sigil book now. Shield plans, potion recipes. Well, we'll take a look at the Silent Archive research. See what that comes back with. Shall return later. Okay, so let's go speak. With Mr. Ash. I don't know why the screen was stuck there. I couldn't move the screen for some strange reason. Hopefully the game hasn't crashed on us. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, let's go speak with Mr. Ash, see what he has to say for himself. Probably going to send us off to do some more work. Lift a third edict, or is it a fourth? Calvina's losing track right now. That many edicts she's lifted. It's becoming commonplace, much to the awe of her peers. Disturbing news arrived at Iron Hearth regarding your conduct at the burning library. I will let your report speak for itself, but let it be known that I have misgivings. Oh, misgivings, you say? Whatever do you mean? First things first, the Edict of Fire. Is it truly over then? Yes. What is left of the library burns no more. That is a great relief. Seldom is an edict meant to last for long, and the implications of the Edict of Fire have always troubled me. I have stayed up nights wondering if the flames of Kairos' wrath might spread out from the library and consume the whole of the tiers. But that is ridiculous. The Overlord would never allow such a fate to befall us. Thank you for putting an old man's fears to rest. Yes, well, I'm glad my efforts at the library were successful. Then the Scarlet Chorus have been ousted from the contested lands, and the forbidden knowledge wrenched from their grasp. Tell me more. Yes, I killed the censor and her gang. The Tears will not miss another louse or her brood of vermin. And neither will I. Good work. Anything else to report? Yes, and I'm pleased to say that Marek is well, and in the contested lands. Good. He can help maintain the peace, and ensure that the wisdom of the sages falls into no undeserving hands. Anything else to report? Well, yes, actually. I also have possession of the Silent Archive. You, Fatebinder. I tasked you with keeping the archive away from prying eyes, not claiming it yourself. Surely you can't help but recognize this is a breach of Kairos' law. Well, I need the knowledge of the archive in order to conduct this war. Oh dear. Forbidden knowledge that Kairos decreed no one should have the freedom to access? I think not, Fatebinder. You would do just as well with honest combat and good sense on your side. Have you anything else to report? No? That's everything, thank you. Our advantage against our enemies grows, and we cannot miss an opportunity to strike a decisive victory against the Archon of Secrets. You have been an asset of unsurpassed value, but there is still more to be done. Now that we have 2 regions under our control, the disfavored's presence is felt almost throughout all of the tiers. This is as strong as we have ever been. Got a bit peaky. The Archon shakes his head and collects himself. When he shifts his attention to you, you catch a momentary confusion reflected in his gaze, as if he's trying to account for the last several seconds. Oh dear, perhaps he sensed that one of his flock is coming to a grievous injury. I saw that look plenty of times on the family farm, and it's never a good sign. Someone is getting ready to be put out to pasture. General, we await your orders at your leisure. The time has come for us to gather and descend upon the Stone Sea, where the voices of Narat and his gangs have dug their miserable warren. Once we've dealt with the Archon, I plan to melt down his twisted helmet and drop it in the deepest ocean. First, we have to secure a base in the region. That will give us a position of strength to rally our fighters and take the war to the Archon's doorstep. Are you ready? Yes, sir. I can't help but notice that you look a bit pale. Anything I can do to assist? If I look weary, it's because that damnable Archon of Secrets has vexed me for too long, by far. We are better rid of him, and I won't have you wasting time on issues that don't concern you. Ooh, now taking several deep breaths. Ooh, good grief. Fine. Where do you wish me to start? I sent an advanced unit of disfavored forces into the Stone Sea, but the Scarlet Chorus' presence in the region has them threatened in that location called Howling Rock. I dispatched a support unit to assist, which you can find at Dragonmore Shrine. They will need your help clearing a path to Howling Rock. And what can I expect to find there? Since the region of Azure fell to the ruin, the population of wild beastmen has expanded significantly. No doubt the Scarlet Chorus have used this to their advantage, and seek to conscript as many of the brutes into their mob as possible. The city of Hearthgate is their last bastion of stability, though of course it's held by the Scarlet Chorus now. And why does the support unit need my help? A tribe of beastmen occupies the region, and they aren't quick to tolerate a human element in what they imagine to be their territory. They are no concern of mine, so cut down as many as you see fit to complete the mission. Garb yourself in their skins for all I care. Just get my soldiers through. Beasts are more than capable fighters, and they rip more than one of our countrymen to shreds during the conquest. Ash has no love lost for their kind. My Earthshakers have a plan to blight their land, starving the Scarlet Chorus in their home territory. Offer them any help they need, and see my will done upon the voices of Narat. We are nearly at the end. I can feel the Archon's doom ahead of us, like the peace at the end of slaughter. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, okay. Fine and dandy. The Stone Sea it is. Oh, we have received a missive. So travel to Dragonmore Shrine and meet with the disfavored forces. There are still more spires. Oh, hang on. The Dawning Spire and the Aurora Spire. There is a spire located in the Stone Sea. However, due to the Edict of Stone, navigating the chasms of the region may prove difficult in determining its location. And also, the Aurora Spire, one of the spires located in the Stone Sea, is known as the Aurora Spire. However, the region is teeming with beastmen, and the Edict of Stone crumbles all known paths to it. You need to know another route. So there's a couple of spires here in the Stone Sea area to keep an eye out for. Okay. Tunon, status report. Indeed, I shall appear in your court in good time. We have been summoned. Right, Rogalus. So this is Rogalus asking us if the Vellum Citadel is safe. Oh, the archive, rather, sorry. He asks us if the archive is safe. Asking for further information. Yeah, Fatebinder Rogalus, you seem to possess more than a passing familiarity with the Silent Archive. I thought it was something of a secret. Perhaps an exchange of information is in order. Tell me what you know of it, and I can provide you with its current whereabouts. Yes, indeed. That does not reveal our hand willy-nilly, although she did it to Ash, although we had no choice in that matter. Right, to the bastard city, to Tunon's court. The Archon of Justice has summoned us. Right, well, we are here now, so we can get the word from the horse's mouth, but before we do, let's just prepare ourselves. Fatebinder Calvina, you have me under Mark's blade. I possess only scraps regarding the archive, fragments gleaned from oblique references across a dozen texts. The sages sought a way to preserve all knowledge they collected, yet have it easily accessible to those they felt worthy of their secrets. I found no reliable references to what solution they eventually settled on, but there certainly exist indications that they implemented something. Several documents intercepted over the years, some as recently as the Conquest of the Tears, make reference to sages bearing their discoveries to the Vellum Citadel, as tributes to be paid to the Silent Archive. The manner in which they wrote of it, I half expect you to tell me that the archive is a living person, some sage, volunteer kept alive, or else in a state very lifelike. Through the guild's arts of preservation and healing, their mind forcefully filled to its borders with every stroke of ink set to parchment, compelled through sigils of domination to reveal what they know to those bearing secret signs. I enter the realm of speculation, I fear, for we have exhausted what little evidence I have. Keep me in suspense no longer, Calvina. What became of the archive? Oh. Well, we've already told Ash now, so there's no point in lying to some people and telling the truth to the others, so we'll roll with it and see what happens. But we've had evidence that Calvina is getting a bit more brazen with her actions in the past session when we were here in the court last time, and she openly asked questions of Tunon himself. So, hey, I'm sure she'll conjure up some loophole as to why she's taken the archive that will probably wash when she puts her spin on it. Perhaps one day I shall have to show it to you, like now, maybe. I don't know. Depends what mood we're in. Okay, we'll come and speak with him last. In fact, we should speak with most people last, and when the big boss man has called us, we should speak with him first, surely. So speak with him we shall.
Right.
You return as summoned, despite the weight of responsibility on your shoulders. The court appreciates your devotion to our good work. It should come as no surprise that your activities are closely monitored. As an extension of Kairos' law in the frontier, your progress is a topic of some interest. I sent you on a mission to bring order to the chaos of this civil war. Not enough time has passed for me to expect any significant progress, but I am curious about your findings all the same. I want to make sure your time outside the court's shadow is being used effectively.
Ooh. I think this is an appraisal. Right.
I understand that you've made a name for yourself in the ranks of the disfavored. Good. With the confidence of his soldiers, you should have no trouble rooting out corruption or chaos in Graven Ash's elite legion.
Yes, I am happy to be an asset to Kairos' forces and to pull chaos out by the root.
That is all this court has ever demanded of you. You do well to recall your duties with such exacting precision.
Exacting precision, yes, indeed.
You have spent some time on your own recognizance. The efforts of our military and the challenges they face should be no mystery to you. Tell me, are you any closer to determining which of the Archons is at fault for the troubles of this campaign?
Oh, now perhaps we should have studied the evidence, but Calvina has seen the evidence, and a lot of the evidence on the Voices of Narat's side is quite damning. There are a couple of little things on the Graven Ash's side, but most of them seem to be at odds with the the voices of the rat, the Scarlet Chorus to some degree, and do we lay the blame at the voices in the rat feet now, or do we wait a little bit longer? I think we'll wait a little bit longer. I think there's the Stone Sea. The Stone Sea is where the Scarlet Chorus are holed up. There's bound to be more information there, more interrogation to do perhaps with their leaders. Let's not jump in with 2 feet just yet. After all, we want to make sure that we make the correct decision.
Come now. Your decision does not bind you to an accusation at this time. I only wish to know if you have had success uncovering any evidence of misdeed or malfeasance. If you believe either of the Archons has acted in a manner not befitting their station, give voice to it.
Oh, he's pressing us. Is he pressing us or testing us? And at this moment in time, the visions of the voices of Nerat attending at the Seven Tree Guild, where she was the guild master, the way that he literally ripped that guild apart. Calvina's life torn asunder as the voices shut everything down. I say his face, but he wears a stupid mask engraved in her brain. She wants to see him fall off his pedestal. Is now the time to lay blame at his feet? Not yet.
Perhaps this court has placed too much faith in you, Fatebinder. Or maybe you have been given too much leeway based on your station. I am disappointed that you have not yet found enough evidence to even suggest which of the Archons might be responsible. I will allow you to continue your investigation, but I suggest you be more vigilant in your duties.
It's not a case of being more vigilant, it's a case of ensuring that the evidence is concrete. Spewing accusations without the full facts gets us nowhere.
I look forward to receiving your full report. I will summon you again at the appropriate time. If there's nothing further, you're dismissed.
Ooh. Chastised. But Calvina brushes it off. So if we look at the Trial of Archons, I mean, look at that. We do have quite a lot of evidence. So let's take a look at it, shall we? The Voices was using Archeon bronze to funnel weapons to the Vendrian Guard. That's quite obviously a massive crime, because the Vendrian Guard went and had that massive uprising to take, which caused this whole issue to start in the first place. They've also aided the Unbroken during the Civil War, again prolonging this chaos. Jagged Remedy conscripting from the Unbroken when his forces were strictly forbidden from the region. Stalwart Defenders, yeah, Voices feeding their battle plans, the disfavoured battle plans to the Stalwart Defenders. Again, this drags out the Civil War, drags out the chaos. The Burning Library, the Censor sought forbidden knowledge. Again, illegal. For what purpose? Well, probably to give to Nerat. And then also the torture of disfavoured soldiers before the Civil War. So, quite damning evidence there, to be quite honest with you. Maybe we should have perhaps put Voices forward now, but there will be time. There will be more time. Getting a tongue lashing now is worth it to get the right answer at the end. So let's have a look at the Graven Ash situation. The disfavoured attempted to bribe you to get iron weapons. That's not the most heinous of crimes. They just wanted the weapons, and perhaps, and rightly so, they deserve the weapons. They're the most effective with them. Ash's daughter colluded with the Unbroken Regent, producing an heir. It's a little bit risky, but she's more of a rogue character. She went a bit rogue. Of course, this is not Ash's view on things. He was disgusted with it, so a bit of an outlier there. They wanted the steadfast insignia and sent a civilian to trespass within the Blade Grave. Again, this seems to be because they wanted not the insignia for their own ends, but the insignia to try to get through the edict storm to bring about an end to the situation. So that seems to be fine in Calvina's eyes. Twins River Old Walls, again, there was things in there to help find the steadfast insignia. Again, all about bringing an end to the edict. Animosity between the voices and himself. Not crime of the century. They don't have to like each other. He lost track of his own soldiers in the Burning Library. Fair enough. A little bit of incompetence there, but he was in the Burning Library to take the Burning Library down. Again, exactly what was asked of him. To destroy the forbidden knowledge, which we know is what Kairos wanted. And this, again, little bit of encroachment, again, hardly crime of the century. So you compare the evidence here with this more damning evidence in Calvina's eyes, and this is not blinkered, viewpoint. These are clearly more damning acts, surely, to extend the chaos of the Civil War, feeding battle plans to the enemy, giving the enemy weapons to start this whole charade off, aiding them during the Civil. This is all very, very damning evidence. So maybe Calvina could well have put the old Archon of Secrets in line as the main traitor here, but I'm sure the patience that she has shown will win out in the end. Not to mention, we may well see the voices in the Stone Sea. Let's get something out of the horse's mouth, perhaps. Okay, so we have the Fatebinders. It was Rogulus who was most interested in the old silent archives. Let's see what he has to say for himself. To return. Can't bring up the old silent archives with him.
Will do.
Okay. We'll get another missive after another 24 hours. Let's just quickly check in with the old Bled and Mark here. Nothing more to say. Okay, well, we've got the Dragonmore Shrine and we've got Hearth Gate. Right. So, Dragonmore Shrine, a well-trafficked area close to the outskirts of the region and a short distance from the region's few settlements. Beastmen have been fascinated with the area since Cain's fall and the formation of the Stone Sea, believing the unusual rock formations to be tied to the dying Archon they revere. The heavy human presence here has driven them off, which has only increased tensions between them and the local settlers. Okay, let's pop along and see what we can find. Wow, look at these purple formations. Ooh. Oh, listen to this music. We should speak to Cadis and Radix. Oh, Radix. Oh, Radix! The head honcho. Dear Fatebender Calvina, rarely in my life have I experienced relief to the extent that your missive inspired. No other action you have taken to this point, incredible as many of them have been, has impressed me so thoroughly. The vagueness of the better uses of which you spoke could concern one with less faith in your judgment. Once this civil war concludes, you and I shall have to study the archive thoroughly so as to determine what aspects of it can be saved and which must be purged under the law. Oh, well. Interesting. Interesting. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Right, Crescent Runner.
On it.
I have an earthquake here. No doubt the work of the Earth Shakers. Because the Earth is here a-shaking. Strange formation. This rocky protrusion is magical in origin. As Cairn roamed the Stone Sea during the conquest, it was rumoured that structures like these were formed in his wake and contained traces of his essence. Calvina touching the monument, and she learns the sigil of stone, but she already knows this, so nothing gained for now. Boom. Boom, boom, shake the room. Radix, Iron Core, and Sadis. Okay, so we know that Radix is the head honcho, so we'll speak with... Is it a him? I miss a him first. Fatebinder. Okay, Sadis stepping in here. Lieutenant Sadis, at your service, ma'am. Won't get him to admit it, but Radix is too. That's Commander Ironcore to you, baby brother. And you as well, Fatebinder. Forgive me if I do not have time to entertain idle pleasantries. We're on a campaign of the highest importance. I'm sure you understand. I humbly apologise for the both of us, but if you don't mind me asking, what's brought you to these parts, ma'am? Sure, she looks pretty, but don't let those big peaks fool you. The land's a tangle of danger. Bloody hell, fire. What always irks me is that we seem to be able to bring up this betrayal line at the most stupid times. You know, for instance, if we were going to betray the Alliance, the perfect time to do it in my eyes, a perfect time, may well have been if we were in the Burning Library, and rather than having it crumble to the ground, we actually, you know, did as it said that we could do and replace the secret silent archive with another artifact to stop the Burning Library from crumbling. That would have been a good opportunity for us to show our intentions, for instance. You know, turning our Alliance by just turning on random people in the middle of nowhere, it just doesn't seem right. But anyway. What are we doing in these parts, he has asked. Well, first of all, of course, we are here on behalf of the court, mainly, and it is favoured to some degree. We must secure the Stone Sea for the glory of Kairos. So you do come with a purpose. I'd be a fool to turn down the aid of a Fatebinder, especially one so renowned. I will accept any assistance I can acquire in uniting with my Earthshakers at Howling Rock and defending the fort they have erected around Cair's remains. Well, what the commander is trying to say is we're beholden to have you. Getting the Howling Rock's the easy part, only it hasn't been that easy. We've been waylaid with chorus forces and beasts that'll rend you limb to limb sooner than you can blink. They're bloodthirsty sons of curs, mark my words. Well, I fear neither man nor beast. I shall cut us a path to Howling Rock regardless of who stands in our way. That's what I like to hear, ma'am. Fastest routes through Stone Down Gorge course. The area's swarming with chorus and beasts alike. Carve us a path and we'll follow close on your heels. Get us there in one piece, and I'll name my broadsword in your honour. We'll slay enough of them to have an armoury named after us before long. I suppose I could stand for a few more swords named Barrick out in circulation. A few more, Barrick? You have people, you have weapons already named after you? Oh, yes, indeed. The cohort that followed me across Apex and Stalwart took a liking to how I handled myself in battle. I'm big enough that I can heft broadswords others found unwieldy. They added weights to their training sticks to toughen up, and and started naming their assigned blades after me. Though I imagine most of those blades were lost or destroyed in the Edict of Storms. I left too many friends and too much of myself in the ruins of old Stalwart. Yes, well, interesting. Say this, excuse me. I need time to prepare. Understood, ma'am. We'll prep for heading out and await your readiness. Holler if you need us, but don't count on me and my shields to save your ass. Our duty is to protect the Shakers, so we'll be trailing a ways behind. Fatebinder, should you arrive before us, which I am almost assured that you will, you'll need this code. The sigil of Cairn's forgotten name to gain entry into the compound. Pay attention, for it's quite an intricate sigil. Okay, so he demonstrates the sigil by twisting and drawing his fingers through the air. Though it appears to any witness to be the motion of a spell, he lends no magic to the mark, deceptively using it as a coded communication instead. Show it to the guards, and they will know that you are one of us. Yes. You don't need to practice. We fully understand, and we shall use it if needed. Although it is quite unusual, what is the meaning behind the sigil? It is a name all but we have forgotten. It is the only remainder, a single identifier of Cairn's existence from when he lived wild and free in the mountains of Tortoise during the time of his youth, years before he pledged himself as an Archon to our Overlord. Fascinating. Most of what we know of Cairn down here relates to him as the Archon of Stone, his powers, his size, those sorts of things. But as for Cairn the human being, we know so little, and I think the Earthshakers may have been the only ones to come close to knowing him. Yes, very well. I shall use a signal, as I said, if required. Do not forget it. Right. Can you brief me on the chorus's troop movements throughout the region? Shit. If there ain't more of them than maggots out here. Can't get 2 feet without needing to gouge someone's entrails out. But most of them have swarmed Halfgate, looking for warm bodies. Crude as my brother is, I agree with his assessment. The chorus are rather semblant to maggots. Single, inconsequential, yet annoying, numerous. Both squished beneath stones of adequate acceleration and mass. However, more pressing matters have need of my attention presently. Even Radix likes killing chorus screamers, but he can't stray from the parameters of his post, and I can't stray from him. Oh no? What a convenient shame that both you're stuck here and need someone else to do your dirty work. Pathetic. Now. Yes, thank you for the information. And, what, oh, we can't ask about the shaking of the... Oh, the shaking seems to have stopped, though. Although we are in a paused mode. What exactly these parts and how they're dangerous? Okay, that's enough for now. And obviously they're related, so fine. Carving the path. Eliminate the stone stalkers. The first area that must be cleared is Stone Down, home of the Beastmen and the Stone Stalker tribe. They must all die, and so they shall. There you go. Stone Down Gorge. Da, da, da. Oh, got a little bit of life here. Not much probably, but a little bit. The sound of wildlife and the blowing of trees and, oh yes, the shaking continues. Right, join me in the next session as we explore Stone Down Gorge and clear it of beastmen, apparently. Until then, see you soon.